3 commands. If you can predict what all of them do, you do not need this video. Question 1, you type /rewind and press enter. What happens to your session? Question 2, you type /loop with a job and walk away. What is Claude doing an hour later? Question 3, you type /ghost, and every answer after that stops sounding like Claude. What changed? Hold all 3 answers. They are stops 4, 10, and 12 on a map with 18 stops. Here is the map. This is the complete Claude Code Guide for 2026. The whole roadmap and every box on it explained. Phase 1 gets you started. What a coding agent actually is, how to set Claude up, and the core vocabulary. Phase 2 teaches you to drive it. The commands, the workflow, and the habits that make it work. Phase 3 teaches Claude about your world. Project memory, skills, subagents, hooks, and loops. Phase 4 is control. The context window budget, and an interface shaped to your work. Phase 5 goes pro outside tools, schedules, model tuning, plugins, scaling, and security. 5 phases, 18 stages. And this time, every single box gets its own explanation. One sentence before stage 1, what did you just install? Claude Code is an agentic coding tool. Claude in your terminal, editing files, running commands, and checking its own work. A chat assistant hands you code to paste. An agent does the task where the code lives and shows you the diff. The source lists its related tracks. Agents for the theory, and prompt engineering for the words that steer it. Stage 1, the introduction. What exactly did you just install? Stage 1 answers the first question. What a coding agent actually is, and every way you can run Claude. Vibe coding, agentic coding, coding agent. The rest of the map uses these words. Learn them here. Here is what makes an agent different from a chatbot. On one screen, you describe an outcome. That prompt goes to Claude, the same model you know, running in your terminal. Claude does not just answer. It reads your files, edits them, and runs real commands. Then it looks at the output and decides the next step. That loop keeps going until the job is done. The loop is the product. The terminal, the desktop app, the editor extensions, and mobile are all doors into it. Install it with npm, type Claude inside a repo, and ask for something real. The loop starts on your first sentence. Stage 2, 10 words that organize everything else. Stage 2 names the 10 moving parts of Claude Code and the 4 models that power them. Every stage after this one is just one of these parts, explained deeper. Every session is one context window, a budget of attention. Here is what sits inside it. Before you type anything, Claude.md and your settings are already loaded. Claude starts knowing your project. Tools, MCP servers, and plugins are the hands. They also live in the window, so each one costs space. 4 models can drive it. Fable thinks longest, Opus deep, Sonnet is the everyday driver, Haiku is fast and cheap. Fable for the hardest, longest work, Opus for deep design, Sonnet for most coding, Haiku for quick, simple jobs. Type /model to switch at any time. The session keeps going, only the brain changes. Stage 3, the keyboard layer. Stage 3 is the cheat sheet. The shortcuts, prefixes, and / commands you will use every single day. You will type these hundreds of times. Fluency here pays for itself immediately. The prompt line speaks 3 small languages. One character decides which one. Start with an exclamation mark, and the line is a shell command. It runs directly, and the output lands in the conversation, and at sign attaches a file. Claude reads exactly what you pointed at, instead of searching for it. A / runs a command. Clear, cost, status, rewind. The whole control panel lives behind it. Outside the session, flags do the same work. -p prints one answer, -c continues, -r resumes. -p is the one to remember. It turns Claude into a command you can pipe, script, and schedule. Stage 4, who approves what and when. Stage 4 is the workflow layer. Permissions, plan mode, and sessions you can leave and re-enter. An agent that edits files and runs commands needs a leash. This stage is the leash. Claude can edit files and run commands. This slide is why that is not terrifying. Every risky action hits a permission gate first. You approve once, always, or never. Your rules are remembered. Plan mode goes further. Claude may read everything, but it touches nothing. It must show you a plan first. Every session is saved. Close the terminal, come back tomorrow, and -r drops you exactly where you stopped. And that is question 1 from the start, answered. /rewind steps the session back to before the mistake. You take the other road. Shift-tab cycles the modes live. Normal, auto-accept edits, and plan mode without leaving the prompt. Stage 5, the source leaves this box empty. We will not. Stage 5 is habits. The small rules that decide whether the agent helps you or thrashes. Two people, same tool, wildly different results. The difference is always these habits. The source map leaves best practices as an empty box. Here is what belongs inside it. The failure mode is one giant vague ask. 40 edits later, nothing runs and nobody knows why. The habit that works is small scoped asks. One outcome at a time, so every step stays reviewable. Verification is not optional. Make Claude run the tests and show you green before you believe anything. Commit after every working step. Cheap checkpoints make every mistake a 30-second rollback. And start every unrelated task with /clear. A fresh context beats a confused one. Stage 6, the project memory file. Stage 6 is Claude.md. The file Claude reads before it reads anything else. Anything you find yourself repeating in prompts belongs in this file, said once. Before your first word, Claude has already read a file. You decide what is in it. The home version is personal. Your style and preferences loaded in every project you open. The repo root version is the team memory. Build commands, conventions, and the warnings everyone repeats. Subfolders can carry their own. The deeper file speaks for its corner of the codebase. Write commands, style rules, and the sharp edges. Short and specific beats long and vague. It is read every session. /init writes the first draft for you. Claude studies the repo and proposes its own memory file. Stage 7, teach it your playbook. Stage 7 is skills. Packaged instructions that load only when a task needs them. Any workflow you explain twice should become a skill you never explain again. A skill is a markdown file in a folder. That is the whole technology. The front matter carries a name and a description. The body carries the steps, written like you would brief a colleague. Type / and the skill name, and the instructions load and run. Your deploy checklist on demand. Or Claude matches the description itself. Mention deploying, and the right skill loads without being asked. Skills load only when needed, so 100 of them cost nothing until the moment one is used. Make the folder, write the skill file, and the command exists. No build step, no registry. Stage 8, Claude hiring Claude. Stage 8 is subagents. Helper Claudes, each with its own completely fresh context window. Some jobs are too big for one context window. Subagents are how the work splits. Your main session has one context window, and big jobs overflow it. Here is the escape hatch. Claude spawns subagents. More Claudes, each with a job description and a completely fresh window. 3 can search, test, and review at the same time. None of them sees the others, none carries your chat history. Each returns a short report, and only the reports land in your window. The mess stays outside. /agents manages the roster. Define a reviewer once, and every session can hire it. Stage 9, the rules that run themselves. Stage 9 is hooks. Your own scripts run automatically at fixed moments in the session. Claude.md suggests a hook enforces some rules should not be optional. Everything so far advises Claude. Hooks are different. They run whether Claude likes it or not. A hook is your script tied to a moment. Session start, before a tool, after a tool, on stop. A pre-tool hook can block. Match the dangerous commands, exit non-zero, and the action never happens. A post-tool hook reacts. Run the formatter after every edit, and style stops being a conversation. The contract is plain. The event arrives as JSON on standard in. Your exit code, or a richer JSON reply, decides. /hooks opens the editor. Pick the event, add the matcher, point at your script. Stage 10, the smallest box on the source, the biggest idea inside. Stage 10 is loops. Running Claude against a checker again and again until the work passes. One pass gives you plausible code. A loop with a verifier gives you working code. This is the deepest idea in the whole guide, and the source gives it one small box. Claude writes, runs the tests, reads the failures, and fixes. Nobody touches the keyboard between rounds. The verifier is the whole trick. Tests, types a linter. The loop is only as good as its judge. Give it a stop condition. All green or a fixed number of tries, never an open-ended loop. Question 2 from the start, answered. /loop repeats your prompt on a timer. An hour later, Claude is still working the job. Give /loop a prompt, and it keeps working while you watch. A loop file customizes it, and it expires after 7 days. Stage 11, the economics of attention. Stage 11 is context management. The window is a budget, and everything you love spends from it. When the window fills up, quality drops quietly. Managing it is not optional at scale. Every session has a budget of attention. Watch it fill, and you understand half of the stage. Your tools and memory files are fixed overhead. The conversation grows on top until quality quietly drops. /compact rewrites the history smaller. /clear starts over. Use it between unrelated tasks. Subagents spend their own budgets, not yours. Big searches and big reads belong out there. The fixed overhead is cached, so repeats cost almost nothing. And thinking effort buys depth only where needed. /context draws this exact picture live. What is in the window and what it costs. Stage 12. 2 small boxes on the source, 1 comfortable cockpit. Stage 12 is the interface. A status line that shows your numbers and output styles that change the voice. You stare at this tool for hours a day. 10 minutes of tuning pays forever. The source gives this stage 2 bare boxes. Together, they are your cockpit. The status line is a script you own. It prints 1 string, and Claude shows it under every prompt. Model cost so far, git branch, failing tests. Whatever number you keep asking for, put it on the ticker. Output styles change the voice. Explanatory while you learn, terse when you ship, or a custom when you write. And question 3, answered. Ghost is a style someone wrote. It strips the filler, the meta commentary, and the signposting. A direct human voice. /status line sets it up conversationally. Describe what you want to see, and it writes the script. Stage 13, the USB port. Stage 13 is MCP. The open protocol that plugs outside tools into the session. Your database, your browser, your issue tracker. MCP is how Claude reaches them. Out of the box, Claude touches files and a shell. MCP is how everything else arrives. MCP is an open protocol. A server describes its tools once, and any agent can call them. Add a server and its tools simply appear. Query the database, drive the browser, file the ticket. Local servers speak over standard I/O, remote ones speak HTTP. Same tools, different distance. One caution from the context stage: every server you add spends window space. Connect what you actually use. Claude MCP add registers a server in 1 line. List what is connected with Claude MCP list. Stage 14, Claude while you sleep. Stage 14 is scheduling. Claude running on a trigger with nobody at the keyboard. Reviews, reports, triage. The chores repeat daily. Scheduled Claude does them before you arrive. Everything you have learned so far works without you. This stage just adds a trigger. The modern way is a routine. It runs on Anthropic machines, fired by a schedule, an API call, or a GitHub event. The desktop app schedules tasks on your own machine. And /loop from stage 10 covers polling inside a session. Whichever runner you pick, unattended means lockdown. The narrowest permissions that still finish the job. The job itself is always the same shape. 1 headless prompt. The runner just decides who fires it and where. Stage 15, the dial behind everything. Stage 15 is model configuration. Choosing the brain per task and mixing 2 with Opusplin. The model is a dial. Turned one way you buy depth, the other way speed and price. You met the 4 models in stage 2. Now you configure them like a professional. The dial is cost against depth. Fable for the longest, hardest problems, Opus for deep thinking, Sonnet for daily work, Haiku for bulk. Opusplin mixes 2 on purpose. Opus writes the plan in plan mode, then Sonnet executes it cheaply. Set it per session with /model or per project in settings. Teams pin the dial in the repo. 1 command turns it on. Expensive thinking, cheap typing. Stage 16, your setup boxed. Stage 16 is plugins. Skills, subagents, hooks, MCP servers, and more ship together as 1 install. You tuned all of this for your team. A plugin is how they get it in 1 command. Everything from the last 10 stages fits in 1 box. That box is a plugin. A plugin bundles skills, subagents, hooks, MCP servers, and more. 1 folder, 1 version, 1 install. Marketplaces list them. Code Intelligence, deploy kits, review suites, installed with 1 command. Point your repo at a plugin, and every teammate gets your whole setup on their next session. /plugin browses, installs, and updates without leaving the session. Stage 17, from 1 assistant to a crew. Stage 17 is scale, running many Claudes at once, without them stepping on each other. 1 session doing 1 task is a ceiling. Real backlogs need parallel hands. 3 tasks, 1 repo. Run 3 Claudes in 1 folder, and they will fight over the files. 2 agents editing 1 working copy overwrite each other. The fix is not care, it is separation. A Git worktree is the same repo checked out again. Each Claude gets its own copy, on its own branch. Run each one headless, and 3 fixes land as 3 branches while you review the first. Agent teams go further. A lead Claude splits the work, directs the workers, and merges the reports. 2 commands per task. Make the work tree, point a headless Claude at it. Stage 18, the last stop. Lock the doors you do not use. Stage 18 is security. Least privilege for a tool that edits files and runs commands. Claude runs with your permissions and sees what you see. That deserves 10 deliberate minutes. Last stage. Claude acts with your hands, so give those hands exactly what they need. Permission rules are allow and deny lists. Which tools, which paths, which commands, written in settings. Deny the secret paths outright. .env and key files should be unreadable, not merely unedited. For risky work, run it in a container or a sandbox. The worst case stays inside the box. And the oldest rule survives. You review every diff before it ships. The agent types, you own it. /permissions shows and edits the rules live. Read it once before your first unattended run. 18 stages and both opening questions answered. You do not just know where every box is, you know how each one works. Agents for the theory under this tool, AI engineer for the career track, and prompt engineering for the words. Pick your next road, and tell me in the comments which one you are taking.